Hey, welcome back to Electrically Constructed. I'm Master Electrician Seth Eckel, and this is going to be our final video in our box fill calculation series. I want to take everything we learned so far and apply it to real-world layouts. So up to this point, we've learned how to apply or how to calculate all the code rules in Article 314.16, but now we're going to take those rules and we're going to apply them to blueprints and layout drawings and show you guys how that can help us find out what material we need to purchase ahead of time and make sure that we are installing the right size boxes before we install anything. All right, so get your code book out, get a calculator out, get a pencil and paper out, and let's begin. Okay, so I have my blueprint opened up to a floor plan. This is in-wall power here. And what I want to do is start implementing our blueprint drawings and layouts into our code calculation series so that when we get to our blueprint reading and our blueprint layouts later on, it's not so foreign to everybody. We have a head start on it and things are going to make more sense. And also, I like to show you guys that the code rules apply a lot more to the real world. They're not just test questions, they're not just rules in a book. We actually use them in the field, and I want to show how we can apply them. So this is a power plan. If you haven't seen one before, the symbols that we're looking at here are pretty common. The ones I got highlighted, I just use these highlighters. These are just my takeoff markers that I use. We'll go more into that when we get to our layout series, but for now I'm just showing the stuff that I'm counting right here, and the symbols below my little green marker, that would be a single gang power box, and this would be a double gang power box. When I'm laying out the drawing with code calculation box fill rules, I'm looking for a box that has the most devices in it. I'm also looking for a box that has the most MC cables going into it, or pipes, depending on what the spec of the job is. But I'm running MC here, and I can see this box right here is a 2-gang box with 2 MC cables going into it. If I look around the room, I got 1 MC cable going into this single gang box here, got 2 MC cables going into this single gang box here, 2 in this single gang box, 1 in this single gang box. We're also going to be looking at how to apply box fill calculations to an overhead box later on. So you can see here that there's another MC cable from the home run box going to this box as well. But what I'm looking at is the 2-gang box has 2 MC cables into it. And what I try to do when I'm laying out my drawings is I try to keep the MC cables going into an in-wall box around 2. I try not to go to 3. Sometimes you have to, but I try to keep it around 2. And this would be probably one of the larger volume fills that I have on the floor plan, is 2 devices with 2 MC cables in it. So we're going to use that. So let's get out of our paper and pencil and let's start drawing this out. So your drawings don't have to be pretty. I'm using some tools on a blue beam that I have. So I got a 4-square box here. You could simply just draw a square box and it's going to help you out just as much as me having this pretty 4-square design that I'm using, but it doesn't have to be that nice. All right, and I like to use 4-square deeps for the most part, unless the stud cavity doesn't allow me to. But I like to use 4-square deep boxes, and they work for most situations. But if you're calculating it for the first time, you got to know that a 4-square deep, 2 1/8, is 30.3 cubic inches of volume. So that's what we have to work with. We know that we have 2 devices in that box. We also know that there's 2 MC cables going into that box. we know that we have an equipment grounding conductor attached to that box. And we're going to put it being a commercial setting. Typically, we have a 3/4 raised mud ring on it. When we get to our blueprint layouts and blueprint reading, we'll find out that there's a lot of different size walls and different stud cavities that change our box depths and mud ring sizes. But this is pretty common, so this is what we're going to use. And let's see, now we're just going to add this up. All right, I like to always start with my equipment grounding conductors, and we already know because we went through all the rules that the equipment grounding conductor that's attached to the box, that originates in the box, does not count to our volume fill, so we don't have to count that. Then we see that we have 2 cables coming in. We know the snapping connectors don't add any volume, but we have 2 equipment grounding conductors, and we know that the first 4 equipment grounding conductors only count up to 1, or only actually are 1 conductor. So now we can start counting, because we know that we have 1 equipment grounding conductor in the box, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 other conductors, hots and neutrals, with that equipment grounding conductor. So now we're up to 5. And then we know our device fill rule is for every single gang device, it counts as 2 wire volume allowances of the biggest conductor attached to it. We're only running 12 gauge wires in this box, so it'll be a 12 gauge wire attached to this device and a 12 gauge wire attached to this device. So that's going to give us 4 more, because each one is 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 12 gauge conductors in this box. Now we could use our table 314 16B4 and do the multiplication of those 9 times 2.25 for 12 gauge wires, but we don't have to, because we know that if we have all the same size wires inside that box, we can just go to the table 314.16a and it will tell us how many 12 gauge wires will fit in that box. And we can see here that 13 12 gauge conductors will actually fit in a 4 square by 2 1/8 deep box. So we're good to go. We didn't even have to add on the volume for this 3/4 raised mud ring. Now that doesn't have it stamped on it, but you could always check with the manufacturer to see how much volume that this would add to the assembly if we needed to. But sometimes it's stamped on there, and that comes in, that's a pretty convenient thing to have, so that you don't have to go hunting it down if an inspector ends up asking you. But in this situation, it wouldn't matter, because we have plenty of space left in this box. All right, so we go back to our power plan, and we know, or our floor plan here, and we know that this box is probably going to work most of the time on the whole floor plan. The only time I don't think it would work is if we start getting like 50 amp receptacles and we have number 6s attached to it. Then we'll just do our calculation again. So we'll draw it out, find out how much volume that box is taking up, and we also have, you know, to look at the bending of the wires and making sure that that fits in the box too. So but we know right here that we can use these 4 square boxes with a 3/4 raised mud ring for our assemblies throughout most of this print here. So that helps out a lot, and then you just start getting your takeoff of all that. All right, that's how that works, and that's how that box fill rule will work while you're laying out drawings. Now, in the beginning, if you're just learning box fill calculations, this starts to become second nature, and you just know what's going to work or what's not going to work after a while. But when you're just learning, I really strongly recommend that you practice it and you add it on, and you start doing these, you start practicing it with everything. Just do it and keep doing it until you know it like it's second nature. Practice makes perfect, and perfection is boring. So do it until it is so easy that it's boring and you don't even have to think about it anymore. All right. Okay, let's move on. Let's look at an overhead raceway, because box fill calculations matter here too. fact, with overhead raceways, you're probably going to do your box fill calculation more often than you would with your in-wall. Your in-wall, you'll probably start to figure out what works and what doesn't work. And you'll probably get there with a lot of the overhead stuff too, but it changes a lot more. You start running, especially when it comes to lighting, when you start running lighting circuits and you have 14 and 16 gauge wires, control wires running with your lighting, so you start using your box fill a lot more. But we got this here. Let's use this example here. So I'm running a 1-inch pipe from the panel to this J box here. This J box, I'm running a 4 11/16 by 2 1/8 deep junction box here in the ceiling, and I have 5 circuits in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one is being pulled straight through, right? Or I don't know how many are, but we got some being pulled straight through into another raceway, and we got some turning being pulled straight through and through another raceway, and we got 3 MC cables coming off of this junction box and dropping down to the boxes they need to drop down to. So let's draw this out. Let's figure this one out together. All right, let's see here. Okay, so if we look at this, it looks pretty chaotic, but this is what we have going on the power plan. We have a 1-inch home run coming in. We have wires going across through another 1-inch raceway. We got wires turning out and going straight through to a 3/4 inch raceway. And we got 1, 2, 3 MC cables all snapping into this box here. So you might ask yourself, where can we start? For me, I like to start with my equipment grounding conductors, because once I get those counted up, I can put those to the side, and I just got to count my hots and neutrals. So let's look. Equipment grounding conductor, we got the one that's already in the box. We know that that one doesn't count. We got one coming from the home run pipe, and that's going to come in. Then we got one going down this pipe. It's going to splice into the home run pipe. So that's 1, 2. We got one going into this pipe. 3. Then we got an MC cable. 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 equipment grounding conductors in this box. And we know for equipment grounding conductors, the first 4 equal 1, and every one after that is a 1/4 of a conductor. We know that these are all 12 gauge conductors, so that would give us 6 entering the box equals 1.5 12 gauge equipment grounding conductors. So we have 1.5 conductors in the box so far that are 12 gauge. All right, now we have to count the rest of the wires. So we have 5 circuits coming in. All right, let's count this out. I'm going to make it easy. I'm going to count the MC cables first. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 MC conductors that are going to splice in this box. We know we have to count the ones that are spliced, and they're entering the box. So you can look at it a few different ways. I like to count the cables that are entering the box. And then we have 5 more conductors coming from the home run, or 5 more circuits coming from the home run pipe. So that means we have 10 wires, 10 more wires coming into this box besides the 6 that we just counted from the MC cables. All right, because we got the home run pipe bringing 5 circuits in, whether they're going straight through or they're coming into the box, doesn't really matter. We know we have 5 circuits coming in, so that's 10 more wires, because we already counted the ground, so we don't have to worry about those. So the 10 wires here plus the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 extra conductors from the MC cable that are being spliced in the box, that's going to give us 16 wires plus the 1.5 equipment grounding conductors that we have in the box. So we have 16 wires in the box plus 1.5 equals 17.5 wires. Now, we could easily just go to our 314.16a and see there's a 4 and 11/16 by 2 1/8 deep box allow us to have 17.5 wires in it. But because we're trying to figure some stuff out, I just want to challenge you guys a little bit more. Let's do the calculation. Let's figure out what 17.5 times 2.25 actually is. All right, and that's going to give us 39.375 cubic inches of volume being taken up in this box right here. Okay, now let's go to our code book and let's see if that's a lot of volume being taken up. Let's see if we have enough space for it. All right, we're going to go to our boxes. We'll look for 4 and 11 by 2 1/8, 42 cubic inches of volume. So yep, we have enough space in there. Let's see what this tells us. We're running all 12s. We have 17 and a half, and it says we can have 18 in there. So we just made it. We have a half a conductor to spare. All right, so that is how that works. Okay, so there we go. We just figured out that we can run these 5 circuits to this junction box here. We can drop out 3 MC cables. We can branch off 1-inch raceway to continue down to send more circuits that way. We can send a 3/4 raceway this way to send more circuits that way, and we're good to go. We're golden. We have enough room in this box to make that happen. All right, so nice job. Hopefully this all made sense to you guys. Hopefully you guys can use this moving forward, and everything's starting to click together for you. When you're out in the field, you know, challenge yourself. Start looking at boxes. Start doing these calculations. The more you do them, the better you can get at them, and pretty soon you'll be running jobs, and you're going to have great ideas like, hey, no, we got to run it this way because I know that this works. You know, do it now. Make yourself stand out in the field. You can enjoy your job more that way too. So if you made it this far through the box fill calculation series and you're still watching and you're still trying to learn this, then I know you're going to be a leader. Just keep it up and keep pushing yourself. If you don't have time to do these calculations on the job, then, you know, write them down and take them home with you and play with them. Ask your foreman, hey, can I get some prints, some old prints that aren't being used, so I can take them home and draw on them and do some box calculations and see and run some home run pipes and see how I would run this job if I had the chance to do it. You know, challenge yourself that way. That's awesome. All right, that is it for our box fill calculation series. We're gonna keep implementing more of these blueprint drawings into what we're learning, and in our next series we are doing pole boxes. So that's gonna be series number 2. You guys enjoyed it? This is my first series. I'm gonna get better at speaking, get better at teaching. Hopefully you guys get better at learning the code. All right, stay sharp, God bless, and I can't wait to see you in the next series.